Welcome back. This week we're talking about how we can powerfully utilize social media to elevate your consciousness, to support you in the evolution of your spiritual growth. I know that sounds like a really challenging topic to cover in just a few minutes, and I promise you, at the end of this, you are going to feel so much more energized after you engage on social media. Many people feel like social media can be a drain, but today we're going to flip that script and we're going to talk about how to use it to empower yourself. So be sure to subscribe below here, and we are going to jump right in. So I hear often people complain about social media, about getting lost in social media and spending hours, they're scrolling and then they turn around and they're just, an hour or 2 hours have gone by. I see this with the teenagers. I see this all over the place. And here's what I want to say is that we can actually use this tool. This is a tool, right? Social media is a tool. It isn't the problem. Our challenge is to really get connected with how to use our tools. Everything that we've created in society, in this culture, is a tool, whether that's your cell phone or traffic, right? Our cars creating traffic. Traffic isn't the challenge. The challenge is how are we using our cars, right? There's a way we can use them in a way that's empowering. So we're not talking about traffic though. We're talking about social media and how you can use it to actually give yourself more energy in your life. So how do you do this? First, identify how social media is challenging you. Is it something that you feel drained afterward? Is it something that you find yourself lost in, like we were talking about earlier? Notice how it's impacting you in a negative way or in a way that just is not intentional. It's something that you don't want. That's the first step, is that you need to bring awareness to where it's draining you and just not filling you up. And the second part is to really have an intention, right? What is the intention that you want to create? So that might be to be fulfilled. Awesome. Social media can be a way for you to feel fulfilled, to fill yourself up, to fill your cup up. How do you do that? You become mindful about your interactions with this tool of social media. That might mean setting limits on how long you're on social media. It might mean when you are engaged for that time period, that you're only looking at posts that support you and fulfill you and energize you and create empowerment inside of you. This is how you raise your level of consciousness with any tool. Okay, not just social media. And then you pause and you ask yourself, right afterward, do I feel more fulfilled? Do I feel empowered? If you don't, then tweak whatever it was that you did, the change that you've made today, tweak that. Okay, for example. So for the example of I get on social media and I get lost, okay? So you might say, all right, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the timer goes off and you're like, oh, I just want to look at one more thing. And so you scroll and you find yourself on for 20 minutes, right? You stop and you go, okay, how do I feel? Maybe you feel fine, right? Maybe because you were looking at things that brought you up, that elevated your consciousness, right? It might have been a meditation, or it might have been a spiritual teacher speaking. It might have been this video, right? Maybe you feel amazing afterward. Then fantastic. You're finding out and tweaking how you use this tool of social media. Now, if it didn't work and you feel drained of energy, you feel like, oh, I could have spent that extra 10 minutes, doing something else more productive, then there's where you need to tweak, right? Holding your own boundary of the original 10 minutes, right? So it's not a place to criticize yourself, make yourself wrong, go back on social media to avoid further feelings of guilt or shame. That's not what this is about. It's about just bringing awareness to this entire process, to this tool of social media, just like with traffic or anything else. So here's your challenge for this week. I want you to think about how much time you actually spend on social media. And I want you to think about, what do you want to create with that time? So it might be 5 hours a week, right? So set an intention that the end of, if that's your number, 5 hours, and that's maybe too much for you, you want to tweak it to 2 hours a week, that's great. And then set an intention. At the end of this, I want to feel this, whatever that is. You want to raise your level of consciousness. Or it might mean that the way that you're engaging inspires others with your comments and your posts. You might comment below here and support other people in their own journey. This is how we tweak our tools. So that's your challenge for this week. And then sit down and just sort of take a pause and reflect on how you're doing, and acknowledge yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. Acknowledge yourself for where you are with this right now. Good luck. I'm really looking forward to hearing how this turns out, how you raise your level of consciousness through social media, in co-creation with social media. So be sure to comment below, and I'll see you back here next week. Take care. Bye now.